Hello all, welcome to the next session. So in the last class we have defined a new plant. Under plant we have defined two storage locations, and at the S4 side we have defined a new intermediate warehouse number. And coming to EWM, in EWM we have copied the EWM warehouse number from the standard SAP given template. And after that, when we were trying to create the supply chain unit, we were getting the error. Okay, so let's try to troubleshoot the error. I'm in easy access. Under easy access I have master data. To create the supply chain unit, the T code is SCMZ SCU main. Here when we give the supply chain unit name and type 1008, and we click on create, we get this error, business system group not maintained. So let us try to troubleshoot why we are getting that error. Let me go to IMG. Under IMG I'll go to SCM EWM. Under SCM basis, go to integration, select first option. Here go to assign logical systems to a client, click on OK. Our client is 100, so go to the client 100 and check the details. Here this is the logical system of S4X system. So we need to make sure that this logical system is assigned to the business system group. So let us check whether it is assigned or not. I'll copy this logical system, go back. Here we have assign logical system and queue type. Open this node. Here we see that the business system and EWM logical system is assigned. Now let us also add S4 system. As we see that S4 logical system is not assigned to our business system group, that is why we are getting the error. I'll select the entry, click on copy, paste the S4 logical system, hit enter, click on save. Now again I am in the same T code, maintain supply chain unit. My supply chain unit name is SCU PL18, click on create. Now we see that error is gone. We are now able to create the supply chain unit. Okay, so this is our supply chain unit. So just observe, now before giving the address we don't see any longitude, latitude or any other details. If I go to address, give some title. This is the supply chain unit, so give some search term for our supply chain unit. I'll just maintain the same details, SCU PL18. So street address, the street address, postal code, city, country, region is actually the physical address of the warehouse which you need to provide here. Okay, so I'll give some street number 30, postal code, give some country and region. So now I have given the address of the supply chain unit. Now go back to general. Now we can see the longitude, latitude, precision and source are populated automatically based on the address. Okay, so now go to alternative. So here we need to maintain the business attribute for the supply chain unit, meaning you need to assign few attributes to the supply chain unit. For example, if I go in the more options, you can see these many options. Okay, these are all SAP standard. We cannot create any entry or delete any entry. We need to make use of this business attributes. Okay, So what does this mean? My supply chain unit is actually my warehouse, and we are planning to perform the receiving as well as shipping from our warehouse. So in that case, we need to add these attributes to the supply chain unit to perform transactions in our warehouse, whether it is receiving, storing, or shipping. Okay, so since we are placing the or performing the warehousing activities in the warehouse, assign INV as one business attribute. We are also performing the shipping activities, so assign SO as well. And we are also planning to receive the goods, so double click on RO. I'll save it. So we have assigned three attributes. Since we are planning to store the goods, perform the warehousing activities within the warehouse, we are also planning to ship the goods outside the warehouse and also receive the goods from the vendors. So my supply chain is ready now. So here, if we check, we need to assign the supply chain unit to the warehouse number. We need to create the party entitled dispose and assign to warehouse, and then we also need to assign the custodian. Okay, now we have defined the supply chain unit. Our supply chain unit is ready. Now we are going to create party entitled dispose. Okay, so what is this party entitled dispose? As I already explained, that party entitled dispose is the business party who is entitled to dispose the stock. Okay, so I'll go to BP transaction. Here click on organization, and then select a grouping. I'll select TBDV. So grouping actually takes care of all this mandatory details and the number ranges. So since TBDV works fine, and when I tried to use other grouping, I was getting few errors. Okay, so that is why I'm using TBDV. Okay, I'll give some name for my business partner, PL18 party entitled dispose. Give the search term and enter all the mandatory details. The language, I'll select English, hit enter. Now let me try to save. As you see, my business partner is now created. So this is my business partner, and this is my party entitled dispose business partner number. Now after you create the business partner or the party entitled dispose, you need to mention that this business partner is actually the plant. So we need to assign the plant in this business partner. Okay, so how do you do that? Click on edit mode. So in the edit mode, select FLVN01. This is the BP role. So here go to vendor general data. If you scroll down, you can see plant. You need to assign your plant over here. Okay, our plant is PL18. So give your plant, click on save. Click on yes. Done. Let me try clicking on no. Oh God. I think there is some error, or somebody might have Played around with this config, BP config. TBDV. Let me try using other business partner. Click on save. Okay, we are getting the same error for all the business partners. Let me try with other grouping ZDCU and see if we are getting the same error. Click on save. I'll copy the business partner created. Now let me extend for FLVN01 and assign the plant in vendor general data. Click on save. As you can see, for this business partner I don't get any error, so let's use this business partner. Plant is assigned. So now seems we are good. So let us use the same grouping for creating the vendor as well as the customers. So I hope you are following me. So when we were trying to use the other business partner grouping, we were getting some dump due to some reason. So I have selected other grouping ZDCU, and after creating ZDCU or after selecting ZDCU, I have created the business partner and then I have extended to FLBN01 role. Okay, so why we are using this? Because so in S4 environment we don't have like both the vendors and suppliers all together are now called as business partners. So whether we need to create the supplier or the vendor, we need to go to BP and give the suitable role, and then we need to assign the plant. Why we are assigning the plant? We are identifying that this business partner is actually the plant. Okay, so this is our business partner number where we are going to assign. Okay, since the custodian, we are storing the goods in the same premises, meaning the same company's premises, so we our custodian is also same. Here we have supply chain unit, party entitled to dispose is defined. What is the custodian? The goods in which I mean the business partner who has the custody of the stock. Okay, so The plant itself is the vendor. So in that case, we are identify the party entitled dispose as the business partner, and we assign the plant. And then we are using the same plant owned premises. So in that case, the plant itself will also be the custodian. Okay, so our supply chain unit, party entitled dispose, and custodian, three of them are ready. So now let's go to configuration. Go to IMG. Under SAM EWM, under EWM, under master data, you have assign warehouse number. Go here, give our warehouse number WH18, click on OK. Click on new entries. Here we need to assign. Okay, what is our supply chain unit? Go back to our Excel sheet. Our supply chain unit, let me search with star PL18 star. Okay, so this is our supply chain unit, SAP PL18, our custodian. Our custodian is the same party entitled dispose, so I am giving the same number. And who is the default party entitled dispose? It is the same. Click on save. Assignment is made. Now here in this warehouse or in this org structure, we have two storage locations under a plant. Okay, and these two storage locations are assigned to the warehouse number. Now we need to assign or identify which stock is in which storage locations. Okay, here we have ROD as well as AFS connected to intermediate warehouse number. That intermediate warehouse number is connected to EWM warehouse number, and in EWM warehouse number we need to identify which stock is under which storage location. So in that case, we have a topic called availability group. So based on the availability group, we are going to identify the storage location. Okay, so if I go into the system, I will close this. In IMG, under SAM EWM, here under interfaces, we have ERP integration. Goods movement. Here you see we need to map the storage location from ERP to the EWM. How do we map? With the help of availability group. Click on execute. Here as you see, we see the plant storage location and S4 logical system combination. We are identifying the availability group, or we are assigning the availability group. Okay, now check whether our entry is already maintained. I don't think so, but let's check. See, there are no entries maintained. Now give my plant PL18, storage location ROD. My logical system of S4 is S4X CLNT100. What is my warehouse number? WH18. I want to identify my ROD storage location in S4 with 001 availability group. Here observe my party entitled dispose is automatically determined. If your party entitled dispose is not determined properly, then you need to check the assignment. We have done the assignment to the warehouse number, right? So if this party entitled dispose is not assigned to the warehouse number, then you won't get this disposal number determined automatically. You need to make sure that the party entitled dispose is assigned. Then only this number will populate automatically. This number is nothing but the party entitled dispose business partner number. This is the number 21007. Okay. Now again for AFS, we are identifying the AFS storage location with 002 availability group. Now observe the disposal again. Once I hit enter, you see the party entitled to dispose is determined. Save it. Now what are these 001 and 002? 001 and 002 are actually the availability groups provided by the SAP system in standard. Okay, if you want, you can define your own availability groups. How do you define? I'll go back. Under goods receipt process, we have configure availability group for put away. Click on execute. Here you have define availability group. Here you see we have warehouse. Under warehouse, we have defined the availability group, and the description of the availability group is given here. Okay, so you are mapping the storage location to the availability group, but in EWM you need to map those availability groups somewhere, right? So those availability groups are again mapped to storage types. Okay, so now this availability group is mapped to its respective storage type. So whenever the stock is, for example, I'll open an Excel sheet. I have a plant, okay, PL18. Under plant, I have AFS and ROD. Okay, so this AFS and ROD is connected to W18 intermediate warehouse, and this W18 intermediate warehouse is assigned to WH18 warehouse in EWM. Okay, so under warehouse we have storage types. Okay, for example, I have 3 storage types in EWM. Storage type 1, 2, 3, 9010, 9020. Okay, these are all the storage types. So this is for GR zone. Here we perform the goods receipt in the storage type. I'll explain in detail later. And here we stage the goods while shipping. Okay, so for example, available for sale. What is available for sale? So whenever my stock is in this particular storage location, those goods are available for shipping to the customers. Okay, what is receiving on dock? I mean, when you are receiving the stock into your warehouse, you need to perform few activities like quality check, some packing before you put it into the storage bins, final storage bins. So that is why we are distinguishing the storage into two locations, available for sale and ROD. So these two, available for sale and ROD, cannot be directly assigned to its respective storage type. Instead, we are defining availability group, two availability groups, 001 and 002, and this availability group we are assigning to the storage types. For example, I want to display the stock in available for sale when I am putting the stock in ST01. Sorry, available for sale is 002, received on dock is 001. Okay, so whenever my scenario is like, my requirement in my business is whenever I store the stock in ST01, ST02 or ST03, my stock should show in AFS in S4. So in that case, I will assign this availability group in the storage type. Okay, and whenever I have the stock in GR zone, I have just unloaded the stock into my warehouse and it is not ready for sale. So in that case, my stock should store in ROD. How will I do? I'll directly assign 000 availability group in the 90T0 storage type. So in this way we can differentiate the stock with the help of availability group. Okay, so that is the meaning of availability group. Okay, so and then where do we define the availability group? As I said, we need to assign that availability group in the storage type. Define storage type, go to our warehouse, my warehouse is WH18. So here, since I have copied from the standard warehouse number, it has copied all the storage types. Okay, for example, I'll take this storage type 0020. If I scroll down, here you can see availability group is assigned. That is the significance of availability group. So whenever I place the stock in the bins which are created under 0020, then in S4 the stock will show in AFS storage location. Okay, I'll discuss about storage types in the future topics, but let's move on to the next configuration. Okay, we have assigned the availability group, or we have performed the mapping of storage location with the help of availability group. So and then under EWM, mapping is done, and next is, after mapping, we need to check the mapping of document types from ERP system or S4 system to EWM. Okay, so whenever you have the brand new system and you already have the standard configurations in place, you need not assign any document type to the EWM document type. It is ready-made. But if you are creating any new document type at S4 side, then it is necessary for you to perform the mapping in this screen. Okay, so whenever you create any outbound delivery, the document type standard is LF in S4. And whenever you create any inbound delivery in S4, then it is EL. This mapping is already there. Okay, if not, you need to perform the mapping if you don't see those mappings. And similarly, after mapping the document type, you need to make sure that your item type from ERP system is mapped to EWM. So for inbound delivery, the document type in S4 is EL. Under EL, and if you have the item type ELN, then the item type determined is IDLV. Similarly, for LF TAN, the item type is ODLV. Okay, so let us again drill down all the configurations, whether you have done correctly. So this assignment is already done. W18 is assigned to WH18. This is not required. We have performed the mapping, and here we have performed the mapping of storage locations from ERP system to S4. So this is about the integration from S4 side to EWM and EWM to S4 integration. Okay, So under ERP integration with other components, under EWM, I think we have also assigned the intermediate warehouse to the EWM warehouse number. Go to our intermediate warehouse number W18. Here the assignment is done. Distribution model, everything is perfect. So that's all about the integration from EWM side. So let's meet in the next class. Thank you.